all you wonderful people. I'm Lisa with Living Life with Lisa, and on this channel we talk about living with chronic illness. I personally have been diagnosed with MTHFR, dementia, and chronic kidney disease, and then I got all kinds of spine problems and walking problems and all that physical stuff. So anyway, I wanted to get on here and talk today about my outro. And my outro is live life with no regrets. And let's talk about the no regrets. How I came up with that was in 2007, my mother got sick, and very sick, and probably the beginning of 2008 I was required to take a leave of absence from work to care for my mother. And so on my last day before it's called the Family Medical Leave Act in the United States, and what it is you don't get paid, but in my case, I got paid because I was salary and I had vacation days and things like that, and sick days that they could use so that I could still end up getting paid. But that's not always the case. But the point of the Family Medical Leave Act is so that you can go home and take care of somebody that is needs constant care. And you don't lose your job. They have to hold on to your job, save your job for, in my case, it was a year, but I've heard some other people talking lately, and they're only getting like 6 months, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they've changed it, or if ours was just different, or what, but anyway, that has nothing to do with this video. I'm just explaining it. So, I took the Family Leave Act, and on my last day of school, before I left to go care for my mother full time, I walked into the teacher's lounge, and it was lunchtime, and the place was packed. There were probably 30 teachers in there, and Mrs. Sumter from across the room yelled to me, "Lisa, no regrets." And she doesn't even remember saying it to me. And it was the one thing that got me through getting my mother's, end of life and ultimate death. And it was, when it got to be too much, or I got discouraged, I had to make a decision. I would think, now am I going to regret this when she's gone? And so if it was something that I wouldn't regret, I knew it was okay to do it. If it was something that I was going to regret afterwards, then I chose not to do it. And it made such a difference afterwards that it meant the world to me. And so that's kind of where that comes from. When I'm talking about, and you could also use it for your own life, when you have some disease, or like me with dementia, where eventually I will lose memories and lose abilities. I have to you live life with no regrets. You have that bucket list, you do things that you want to do, that you've always wanted to do, and then they're done. Now, in my case, whether or not fulfilling that bucket list will make any difference in the end, will I remember it? I don't know. But I'll have a good time doing it. But the reason I'm bringing it up is I've talked about my dad a lot on here, and I talked to him, last Thursday I spoke with him, and he wasn't feeling well. He had sinus headache, which he's always had sinus headaches for his whole life. fortunately, I got that gene from him too. And even my boys, even though they're not genetically, we all get sinus headaches. And it's just, I just wonder if it has something to do with the fair skin and the blue eyes and stuff, because we have all the same allergies and everything. It's really freaky. But anyhow, meanwhile, back to French. Somebody's staying back here and watching me. I talked to him Thursday, and he was fairly normal, like his old self. I talked to him on Saturday. I think it was Saturday or today is Wednesday. So it was either Saturday or Sunday. I talked to him, and because I just wanted to, wasn't for any particular reason. And so he was fit. I told him, I said, "You're looking good." And he said, "Well, I'm not feeling good." But he was still getting along pretty good, and he was gonna, get the blood work done on Monday and see this. I'm a day off, but maybe not. I gotta go through drive-through to supplement our lunch that the boys are making. Anyway, when I talked to him the long time, he was fairly normal. It wasn't, we had a regular conversation. He didn't seem particularly weak. He didn't seem particularly down or anything. He was doing fine, near as I could tell. And so we talked for a while, and I had taken some pain medicine. And so he said, "You're getting sound sleepy," and I said, "I am." I said, "My back hurts real bad," and I said, "I took some pain medicine." I said, this is the first time it's not hurt today, so I may about ready to fall asleep." And he said, "Okay, well," we talked a little bit, and then he said, "I'll let you go so you can go sleep." And so I did. So I get a call yesterday, which would have been Tuesday. I was thinking it's Monday, but it's Tuesday. From his girlfriend. I'm getting confused because I'm trying to think of why I was out. Oh, I went to the doctor yesterday. That's what it was. And so I got a call from his girlfriend and tell me that he wasn't doing very well, and was trying to get him to talk to me. And he and I have talked in great detail about a lot of this, but she didn't know that. And she thought that we haven't talked at all, and that I was totally in the dark, which I'm not. And so he wanted to do FaceTime. We did FaceTime last night. He was sitting in his chair. He had not taken his coat off yet. He has not been eating. He can hardly breathe. He can't get from his living room to his kitchen, which is maybe 10, 15 feet without resting first. He can't be alone, I told him. And he was going for a blood transfusion today, so I wanted to see how he was doing today after the blood transfusion. He didn't want to come up here, but now he's more willing to come up here after I explained to him how we were giving him part of the house, and that my house is handicap accessible. His house is not handicap accessible, and my part of that house is extremely handicap accessible because I was in a wheelchair. So he needs that. And I'm going to pause you for just a moment because I have some personal business to do. I'm back. Or you're back. We're having a windstorm. It's we have wind advisories, and it is picking up. They're expecting power outages later this afternoon. So That's why my hair got all messed up. And I feel like I'm competing with the noise of the wind. So, see if I can not get hit by this car backing out. Alright. So, I was talking about my dad and having a hard time breathing and stuff. Well, he's been wanting me to get an appointment with an attorney, but he also wants his financial advisor to go because he told my dad that he's done it a lot of times and it's no big deal. And so we were going to use my lawyer, but I'm up here and there's no way he can get up here and then go back down there. I mean, if he's up here, he's up here to stay. And I said, well, do you want me to just call Ryan, because it's his name, and have him find a lawyer down there, and we'll just go down there and do it. I'll just come down there and do it. And he said, yes. And I said, well, I'll call him tomorrow, but earliest would be next week. And he said, I don't think I can wait that long. And I said, this is a holiday weekend. And he goes, oh yeah, that's right, people be on vacation and stuff. And I said, yeah. And so he said, okay, next week will be okay. And I thought, I think that he's waiting on this meeting with the lawyer. And then he's done. I really do. My mom did the same thing. She wrote to her annuity and got a check for the, kept waiting for the check from the annuity to pay for the funeral. And it didn't come. It finally came. She kept wanting me to take it over to the mortuary, which was just down from our house. And she kept nagging me about it. And I said I was going to go get a pizza you can pick it up across the street from where the funeral home was. And I said, she said, well, drop it off when you go get the pizza. And I said, well, Joe has a funeral today, so I don't know. It depends on if the funeral's over or not. And she said, okay. So I went over there to get the pizza, and the funeral was over. So the funeral home's in their house. So I went over there and I got Joe, and I paid him for her funeral. I went home and she said, did you give Joe the check? And I said, yes. And after that, her mind got goofy, couldn't carry on the conversation. She ended up in a coma and died 2 weeks later. And I just see this as being the same thing with him wanting this attorney. He no longer is interested in any of the things that I wanted him to do. I think he's tired. I think he's ready to give up, be done. And you know what? That's okay. I'm okay with that. He just kept saying last night, I didn't think it was going to come this fast. I didn't think it was going to be this fast. And I didn't think so either. We're talking days. And frankly, I'm not sure he's going to make it to, unless, this blood transfusion does a really good job. And he had it last week. He had one last week. So it's not doing that much. I don't know that he'll make it to Christmas, to tell you the truth. I'm being pessimistic, and we've been there before, but I'm not getting choked up. I've got drainage or something going down the back of my throat. And he made a comment to me last night. He said, I'll do whatever you want me to do, because you've already gone through this with your mother. Well, he and I know what that means. And then he said, if I come up there, it won't be for very long. And I said, doesn't matter. regardless of how long you're up here. You need to be up here. And I said, you had to have somebody with you. You either go, you get an in-home nurse, or you come up here. And he said, our nursing home. I said, no, you don't go to nursing home. And gave him the reasons why he didn't need to go to nursing home. And my reasons, and girlfriend's in the back giving her reasons why he didn't need to go to nursing home. And I said, you go to my house, the boys will help you to the bathroom. He's willing to be on a walker. My house is accessible, handicap accessible. He liked the fact that I have a raised toilet, and that perked him up. So I think he's had some problems with that part. But maybe TMI. But anyway, I think he's going to be willing to come up here, because he said it costs a lot of money to have somebody come in. And I said, I know. And he said, well, that's your money. That's going to be your money. And I said, I'll tell you what, you spend my money on somebody, spend your money on somebody coming in and staying with you, or you come up and stay with me. Don't you dare spend 1 red cent of my money on a nursing home. And so he kind of laughed and said, okay. And so by the end, he was much more, after he realized we were cutting off part of the house for him, and that nobody would have access to it except him unless he needed us. And then if he wanted to come out and join us, he could come out and join us. And he liked that idea. He thought that would work out. He's not worried about being with me and the boys. What he's worried about are the animals, because we have so many animals, and he doesn't want to be around the animals because he's not used to it. And I said, shoot, you can be in my room. You got a TV, you got a chair, you got a bed, you got a bathroom, you got a shower, you got everything you need in there. And he's not been eating. And I don't know if he doesn't have an appetite, or if he's just not able to get up to cook. Girlfriend told me that. So, and then last night he kept forgetting that he had a sandwich already, that they stopped at Pingle Point to get a sandwich and a shake. She got him a shake, I guess, for the high calories. And he just couldn't, he was just having such a hard time figuring out what was going on. And it's sad to see, and it's hard to see. He has a peace about him, which I am extremely grateful for. He's not worried about it. He has no fear. He's not afraid. He is ready. And I gotta tell you, oh my gosh, tree fell in the road, broke. Oh, big time. This wind's bad. My one son spent the night with a friend last night. He was supposed to come home tonight to, it's supposed to get worse. It's almost noon. It's supposed to get worse this afternoon. I think I'm going to tell him to spend another night over there and just come home tomorrow. Because we need to get in the house, stay in the house tonight. Anyway, but for for him to have that peace brings comfort to me. It brings comfort, and it will bring comfort to the boys, because they'll see the lack of fear. And, the poor things have seen so much, in their little lives. But at the same time, I think they've seen perseverance. I think they've seen fighting. They've seen people, for the most part, though I get on here sobbing sometimes, they see people handling these life issues with a positive attitude and a smile, and a normalcy that not normally would always happen, I guess I would say. And so it's going to be very hard. It's going to be extremely hard on the boys. We're going to go see him Friday. He doesn't know it. Well, let's see if I can get mail. The thing's blown open. It looks like junk mail, but I better go see. I'm afraid to get out here. A tree may fall on me. So then we'll see, you know. Oh, I forgot to. Shoot. Let's go for another ride. Let's keep going. I didn't get it. I forgot to pick something up at the store when I was out for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna stop and get my mail though while we're here. At least I don't have to get out of the car. The car will protect me. Ooh. Let's see if I can show you that tree when we get down there. Woo! It's blowing away. There's some high-class videos in it. Hang on. Okay, it's a bill. I can stay on the floor until. Okay. Somebody got flowers. And me. All right. Now, but I think they see a piece where there's not always a piece, and I don't know. You know, I've taken this hard earlier. I'm not taking it hard right now. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm in survival mode or if and I think it's what it is, because I'm thinking of all the things that's got to be done, and what's going to happen, what we got to get done. I'm going through this checklist in my mind, and we got all these appointments, and just decided, the heck with the appointments. If we're gonna have to do what we have to do, and everybody else is just gonna have to wait their turn, because you don't have any choice. I'm gonna see if I may stop, and I don't know if you'll be able to see the broken tree or not. I have to show you when I come back, but I'm kind of afraid to stop there a little bit, but let me see. Alright, I am going to turn this around so that you can see here. Oh. There's a tree on the ground, and I'm back up just a hair. And I don't know if it was in the road, it's still partly in the road, or if it fell that direction. If I go up, let's see, there's where it came off at. So this is bad. Oh, somebody's gonna clean it up. Bless their hearts. Well, it wasn't that nice. He cleaned that up and got it off the road. I thanked him. And he said, "You're welcome." He's cute. So, anyway, so I don't know if I'm not in, in the gear where you have to do all the planning, and thinking of all the things that have to be done, clothes that have to be purchased because I don't have any, and things like that, and I was thinking, he already told me where he wants to be buried, but he refused to make any pre-arrangements, and so that'll all fall on me. And if we have him up here, I'll have to pay somebody to transport him down back to Marion. which is no big deal. I flew my mother to Arkansas, so I think driving down Marion's the least of my worries. But you know, and then, you know, taking care of that. You know, it's just the boys are big enough. But it's gonna be hard on them. But to clean that house out and you know, put it on the market or whatever it is I gotta do. I'm just thinking about all the things that are ahead, as far as, you know, his houses are paid for, but you have to keep them. You know, the pipes from freezing, so you got to keep the heat on, so you got to keep paying the bills, and the bills are going there, not here, and that's just an awful lot. But I'm getting way ahead of myself, I hope, because I put his foot in the grave before. But he was getting mad because he thought that we were talking to him like he was dying, and then after we convinced him that we weren't talking about that, we were talking about him needing assistance so he doesn't fall, and just to do everything day things. He was a little bit more agreeable, but but after we gave him the impression we weren't talking about his impending doom, he started making comments about didn't think it was going to be this fast. When it comes up here, it won't be for very long. You know, don't know if I can wait for that appointment. But anyway, I want to tell you all about all this. I'm sorry to just dump all this on you, but this is my life. Just a second.
Hello, welcome to Arby's. Order when you're ready.
Okay, I need a medium curly fries, please.
Just a medium curly fry?
Yep.
Any sauces?
No, thank you.
Alrighty. Your total is $2.56 at the window.
All right, thank you. Big one curly fries with his catfish that he's cooking. And so I figured if he's gonna cook the catfish for lunch, that I can get him curly fries. Why not, right? And then I'm gonna by the store and pick up some stuff. Or maybe I'll go home and order it. That'll be easier. If we can get any orders today. So, if everybody hadn't taken up all the order times. So, with that, I'm gonna leave you. Live life to the fullest, live life no regrets. I'll see you next time. Bye.